Hello and welcome back. Today we are working on another short duet. This one I rearranged from somebody on Noteflight. The link to the audio file and sheet music and that kind of stuff, so you can actually listen to it on Noteflight and be able to hear the entire thing, since this isn't on YouTube or that kind of stuff, will be available. And that should be down in the little doobly-doo thing. So this is not terribly technical. We do have one thing that we haven't run across before, which is a sharp in a weird place. The main focus of this particular piece is going to be working on intonation. When you don't have somebody else to play with, that becomes really, really hard. This piece deals with different intervals, relatively in the same staff, so it's not like the intervals between a violin and the top end of a violin and the low end of a cello, which is really common in some duet, trio, and quartet pieces. This is a lot closer tonality, and something that it is really handy to be able to hear and adjust to make sure that you are in the right place. So, without further ado, we are sitting at 110 BPM. We're just going to do the first line on top, and then we'll do the bottom line, and we'll go from there. The individual lines are not terribly complex. My writing and rearranging capacity is not the best. It's there, but it's not world class. This is not what I do for a living. However, I've got enough of a handle on it to be able to run things and at least get the idea across. So, we're running at 110 BPM. Okay, and we are in tune. So, first line. First line, top line, 1, 2, 3. Nice, simple, straightforward. Go ahead and join me on this one. 1, 2, 3. The bottom line, let me move away from the small real quick. The bottom line, not anything terribly hard. However, the last measure on the bottom line, on the first system, the first double line across, shows a C or a B sharp. That is a C. So technically, that is a sharp B, which you just play fourth finger. So let's go ahead and play the line. We'll take a look at a couple of things and then we'll move on. So again, bottom line, first system, 1, 2, 3. Not terribly hard. Let's play through that one more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So the two lines are not terribly complex. They're not technically advanced, but the tonality is definitely something that you kind of have to listen to. The ability to micro adjust, to be able to get things perfectly in tune, on the fly is a very important skill to be able to develop. And this is specifically geared towards working on that. So why don't we work on the top line of the second system, and we'll go from there. 1, 2, 3. Okay. One more time, and then we'll move on. 1, 2, 3. The bottom line underneath it, very simple, just whole notes. Keep in mind that B sharp is just fourth finger C. So we'll run through that once and then continue on. It's not terribly hard. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Third system, so third block of measures. Top line, 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Bottom line, third system. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I don't think that one bears repeating. Very simple, very straightforward. Fourth system, so bottom set of lines on the page, top line. Double check. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and play that top line of the last system one more time. 1, 2, 3.
This lesson is brought to you by the Musician's Edition practice book. Make goals and keep track of progress throughout the whole year. When you're done with this video lesson, don't forget to mark this practice time in your Musician's Edition practice book. Now back to the video.
Then the bottom line from that same system. 1, 2, 3. Moving on to the second page, measure 24. Top line. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Bottom line, again, super simple. Measure 24, bottom line, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Measure 29, top line, 1, 2, 3. time. 1, 2, 3. I'll play through the bottom line once at measure 29, just one time, super simple. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then let's go ahead and do measure 35, top line, to the end. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then the bottom line measure 35 to the end, just one time through. 1, 2, 3. So, this is more an etude than something that you would go out and perform. This is specifically to help you start hearing intervals between you and another line of music, and also to start being able to grasp and hear when note changes need to happen, so that you can kind of anticipate them. There's the last two lines of this piece. Definitely have a lot of changing notes in terms of the bass, and then you should work on trying to feel when those, I mean, obviously you have the rhythmic pieces written out on the page due to, you know, the notes and durations and all that kind of stuff. But there is a kind of a feeling you get with the chordal changes and chordal repetitions within a piece that this does fairly decent job of helping you to kind of wrap your head around and anticipate, and then see the same thing come up, and then see when, you know, when that chordal change, that underlying structural musical change is going to happen. So one time really quick, let's go ahead and play through the top line, beginning to end, and then I'll do the same thing on the bottom line, and then I will cut you loose with how to go about practicing this kind of an etude, kind of a duet etude on your own. So, first line. 1, 2, 3. So you'll be able to go back, use that that section to play the bass line with, and then have that duet set up there. So I will go ahead and go through. Join me, please, on playing the bass line with this, and I will play it once, beginning to end, And then you can come back to this, obviously, and use that as the lower line for you to play the main melody over. I highly encourage playing both parts and being able to kind of develop an ear for hearing the other part that you are playing with. It will wildly help when it comes to doing small ensemble and that kind of stuff. So, double check our tempo. Okay. Bottom line, beginning to end. 1, 2, 3. Groovy. So the main things to... My apologies, I don't know why my chair was squeaking. The main things to look at this, there are no fingerings written in. I would highly recommend starting to use this to kind of mess around with fingerings. Figure out if you want to play in first position with shifts, if you want to play in like a shifted position, if you want to play in fourth position. Try it different ways, try it different styles. And one of my big problems, at least personally, when I was going through college and learning this kind of stuff, is if there was fingerings written in, I felt bound by them. I felt like I had to perform those particular fingerings. And sometimes I didn't really grasp them. Either I didn't see where shifts would be put in, or I didn't understand how they got the hand position to be able to do what needed to be done. And it wasn't until a little bit later on in college when my teacher was kind of curious why I didn't really know how to write in fingerings. That's when I started doing some stuff like this, and it really helped me kind of open my mind to, oh, hey, fingerings aren't rules written in stone. They're more, to borrow a phrase, they're more like guidelines. And that really kind of helped me start developing, like, oh, hey, when it comes to the D string, I prefer, unless I'm going to be working on the D string a lot, I prefer to stay on the D instead of shifting over to the A, because my A is a little bit brighter and a little bit tinnier, and I like the sound and I like the timbre on my D string. So learning small things about that, learning small things like that, learning how to write in fingerings, especially when you're doing some interesting shift work. There's a little bit towards the tail end of this, measure like 32, 33, a little bit of, oh, hey, I can shift here, or I can shift here, or I can shift here, but I have to be shifted by this point to be able to reach this note, that kind of thing. So experiment with fingerings, experiment with dynamics as well, because this is a rather plain piece. When you're playing it with the accompaniment, either the high accompaniment or the low accompaniment, it really does kind of start to shine, but you can use your dynamics, be it from piano, pianissimo, all the way up to forte, fortissimo, to really kind of breathe some life into this piece. And being an etude, that's kind of what this is based around, is flexibility and practicing things. So that'd be my recommendation. Not terribly advanced, but still starting to lay some groundwork on working on more duet style things that are going to be important down the road if you desire to go down that path. So, thank you very much for joining me. My apologies for a short lesson this week, but it is what it is. And this definitely provides enough work to really kind of get your mind going if you choose to explore all the options available to it. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining. I appreciate it, and I will catch you next time.